white-tailed deer, considered North America's premier big game animal. This year is going to be different. We've got teams, family, friends, as many people in the woods with cameras as possible. We're going to chronicle and journey their seasons. No, we are not perfect. We are going to screw up. That's our goal. We want you to learn from us. What are our tips and tactics? What did we do to be successful? What did we do to fail? This is our home. This is a great deer hunting state. We want to emphasize that, and we want to bring to you what we feel is truly one of the best deer hunting webisodes out there.
All right, well, welcome back to episode 2 here of season 2 of DeerFest TV. And this week we're actually going to be calling episode a little bit. We're going to call it a blast from the past. We're actually going to go back and look at 2 hunts that occurred last year that never aired, and they're just fitting for this time frame. Like we're starting to get into this early October period, and that's when most of these deer were harvested. One late September, one early October. So we're kind of going to go in and key in on what made those hunts successful a little bit, and try and help you guys kind of get through this little bit sometimes slower stage known as the October lull.
Yeah, the October lull, we've all heard of it. Is it fact or fallacy? And like I said, we've got 2 hunts from last year of deer that were harvested during that time period. I harvested my best buck ever right during the middle of October when people say it's the toughest to hunt. But, we'll talk a little bit about the secrets there. And this episode's product spotlight, we're going to look at the new Mathews Creed XS. They set one up for me. I shot it, and as I said, I'm not that good of a shot. What a fantastic bull.
Yeah, Mathews has always produced, one of the better bulls on the market, and it's always kind of been one that we've chosen to shoot. I still shoot the Creed, you start shooting the Creed XS, and we both love them. They're great bulls, so we're actually going to be down getting a little bit of more information on those, a little bit more technical knowledge. But the hunts this week are actually going to feature myself on a late September bull hunt here last year. I was lucky enough to be able to harvest a really good buck on a little small food source. We talk about that October lull. What makes it successful really for us is good food and minimal pressure. We like to bounce around, hunt different food sources and things like that, but never overpressure an area. We found that that's really kind of been the key to our success of maybe beating this October lull a little bit is minimal pressure. Maybe we'll leave some spots alone and start hunting them come that October lull. We'll go in and hunt new spots we haven't hunted all year. But then the second hunt is actually kind of a little bit of a follow-up to mine. I had gone in and hunted this other spot and seen quite a few really nice bucks, and then actually was able to take pro staffer Ben Fergan last year. He got some time off of work. I took him in, and he was able to harvest one of his best bull bucks ever on this different little food plot. We keyed in on food in a very minimal pressured area, and we were successful 2 times last year towards that late September, early October, that slowdown period.
Well, again, I think pressure is a key, Dusty. You harvested your buck the first time we sat in that set that year. And where Ben shot his buck, we'd hunted that food plot, but probably not for a couple of weeks, but I don't think we'd actually set in that exact stand all year. So again, it's not easy, but minimal, if not zero pressure, is going to give you your best chance for that October lull.
All right, guys, stay tuned. Hope you enjoy the episode.
Take care.
I had actually gone in and hunted this spot the night before. I ended up killing mine and saw some really nice bucks, a couple good ones that I would have loved to get Ben on. So I actually moved on to a different spot, a different little food plot on actually a different lease. I had pictures of a really good 8-pointer in there, was able to get in there. The hunt kind of happens really fast. It's a tight quarter spot, and this buck pops out, and actually he was following a 2-year-old that he'd been with all summer. So Dad was running the camera, I was hunting. 37 degrees tonight for an overnight low. I definitely hit the deer a little further back and lower than I wanted to. It's September 16th today. It's the third day of the bull season. We got in here late. We didn't get in here till almost 10 to 5. And that deer actually walked out at 20 after 5. And I shot him at 5:25. It's just such a tight corner set where we're sitting here. It's really hard to film and shoot out of. There's not a lot of shooting lanes. And I was afraid he was gonna get behind this big branch and be gone for good, so I rushed the shot. It was my fault. I should have tried shooting him earlier. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's supposed to get really cold tonight. Luckily for me, my best friend has got a bloodhound that's professionally trained to find deer, and he's awfully good, so.
Showtime, pal? Well, it is the morning after. We were back in here after this deer. We got Boomer along. It got plenty cold last night. Our windshields were all iced over, so hopefully if he went down in that swamp and bedded down, he's going to be stiffened up and laying in there dead. And, luckily for us, the way we come out of that stand is directly opposite the way that deer ran, so we really shouldn't have ever bumped him. Well, we recovered the arrow. We actually knew it was laying here last night. We could actually, once it got dark, we could see the nocturnal glowing, which is actually still glowing. So we knew the arrow was here, but coming into here, we've just been getting closer to him, so we just left this go completely last night. So this is the first time I picked the arrow up. It's got a fair amount of blood on it actually, which is a good sign. Well, here we are. It's morning 2 of the track. As we said yesterday, we jumped the buck about 50 to 60 yards from the tree. We all agreed that he was mortally wounded and sick, so we just decided to back out for another 24 hours. So we are back here again. This is now the second morning after I shot him. We've got Boomer. It's rained a little bit last night, so us finding blood is going to be pretty much non-existent, so we're putting everything on Boomer here. Hopefully he runs right to the deer. Casey's lucky enough with being part of the Bloodhound Trackers organization that he's able to call around, and the consensus is that the deer's not going to go any more than 200 yards again before he lays back down, and hopefully give him this extra 24 hours he's not going to be out of that bed. So hopefully it's short and sweet and to the point, and we find this deer.
Boomer, good boy! Good boy, Boom! Good job! Good job, buddy! Good job, buddy! That's a good boy!
Oh yeah. Well, here we are. That is actually Wednesday. Our season opened this past Saturday. We hunted this deer on opening night, Saturday night, and he just never showed. Sunday night we didn't have the right wind, so we moved to a different set and had a great sit and saw a lot of deer. And then actually Monday night we decided, you know what, let's go back in there for that big 8-pointer. They moved great on Sunday night. They're probably going to move good again tonight. It's very similar to weather conditions, and we had the right wind. We got into that stand and set about 10 minutes to 5 and saw the first deer about 10 after 5. And believe it or not, this deer came out at 5:25. And we were able to make a shot on him, albeit not a very good one. But the end result is all that matters. Is we're sitting behind this beautiful, mature 4.5-year-old Wisconsin 8-point. He's got great mass. His beams are extremely heavy, and so are his tines. Couldn't be any happier with this deer. He's just a great, great buck. Luckily for us, we got Boomer over here who's doing his celebration, chewing on a weed, I guess. But without Boomer, this would have been hard. It certainly would have been a very hard deer to find. He went a complete opposite direction that we thought he was going to after we jumped him yesterday morning, and he only ran probably 60-70 yards from where we jumped him, and he obviously laid back down here again for the rest of the day yesterday and expired. And just extremely happy to have this deer. It's a great buck, and it looks like the rest of my season is going to be spent behind the camera, but I have absolutely zero problem with that. I just like being in the woods, so I'd gladly run the camera for the two guys that are sitting back there running them right now. So just thank you very much to you guys. Without you, it wouldn't be possible.
Now to kind of conclude and wrap the story up of last year is Ben at the time was working on the big family dairy farm and doesn't get a lot of time off to hunt, so I had kind of left this other spot sit. Left it alone, waited till Ben got some time off, and he was lucky enough to get it, and I took him. We went into this food plot and got lucky enough that one of the bucks we were kind of in there after showed up.
It's October 26th. We're on Deerfest property in Wisconsin. We third time out in the woods this year. I don't have much time. Big dairy farm in central Wisconsin. Finally got our corn off. And it's been a long year. And Dustin decided to take me up here on one of the leases they got. And about four shooters coming up to the food plot here in this turtle patch. It's like, I don't know, 40 degrees, 27 at night, so it's really pounding these turnip patches, and it should be a good night, so let's hang tight and see what we see. First one's bigger. That a boy. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. 39 yards. 39. Drilled him. Yeah. That deer went. Holy goodness. Well, that deer was in the field the past 2 nights, and made a mistake by coming out tonight. We drilled a 39-yard shot. Right here, decoy started feeding it, just pounding them. 60 yards went down. Unbelievable. We still got a deer working the decoy right behind me. It's unreal.
Shot this buck last night, October 26th. Spotted him in the food plots 2 nights in a row now, so we moved in on him. Brought a decoy with, worked right across the food plot, right into the decoy. Gave me about a 40-yard quarter and away shot, just drilled him. That rage, he ran 50 yards piled up in the food plot. I mean, there was no track job involved. It got him out there as soon as possible. Didn't blow any deer off the food plot, which is good because we have a lot of nice bucks coming up in there. And it'd be nice to get someone else in there and get a crack at one.
Like we touched on in the open, the importance of this is, we left that spot sit for weeks on end before we went back in there. I think it was actually 17 days after I had sat that field that I took Ben back in there and he was able to harvest the buck. So we're really, really ecstatic about that. It was awesome to be with Ben, watch him shoot one of his best bull bucks ever. I think these are great hunts. I hope you guys really enjoy them. Again, minimal pressure. We stayed out of these areas, and Ben made a great shot.
Okay, we're here in Richfield, Wisconsin with Jeff Keller, the owner of Archer's Quest, and we're going to talk about the brand new Mathews Creed XS. Jeff, tell us what makes this such an exceptional bull.
For one thing, it's short, it's compact, and it's lightweight. The 28-inch axle-to-axle on this bull and 7 3/8-inch brace height make this a very maneuverable bow in a tree stand, and has an 80% let off. And the one thing that's nice on the new bows here now is the draw post that comes around and hits the limb at full draw, and it gives you an exact full draw position every time instead of having a spongy back wall that can make sloppy shots. This is very, very consistent, and that's what makes an incredibly accurate hunting bow.
Well, I've heard nothing but great things about it. Again, another great bull from Mathews. Let's go put some toys on it, get set up, and I really look forward to shooting it.
Let's get it put together. The arrow rest that we're going to be putting on Hugh's bow here today is Quality Archery Designs HDX. It's the top of the line full containment fall away rest by QAD. This is the Mathews edition. It has a different sidebar than the standard version with a harmonic damper built in the side, and a harmonic damper built in the cocking mechanism here. It's all felt lined to make this rest incredibly quiet. When you install the arrow into the bow, you're going to cock this up. It's going to give it the full containment feature that everybody likes in an arrow rest for hunting. When you draw back, the rest is going to come up to the full upright position at 90 degrees. If you let down, the rest is going to still be in the full capture position. When you pull back and end up firing the bow, the rest is going to lay down, and this rest has a lockdown feature which prevents rest bounce back contacting vanes as the arrow is exiting the bow. So this is a premier arrow rest made by Quality Archery Designs, and this is the Matthews edition. Here at Archer's Quest, I'm a firm believer in paper tuning. It's not the end all as far as bow tuning goes, but it's going to get your bow to that 95 percentile where if you shoot a field point or pretty much any mechanical broadhead out there, you're going to have incredible accuracy. Fixed broadhead tuning, that's kind of a different thing. But we're going to go here and paper tune Hughes bow, and we're going to see what this first shot tells us. And this is kind of just my general setup on the first time around here. We're going to see what it says. Okay, so the paper here tells me I got a slightly low left paper tear, so that tells me I need to move the rest up, or the loop up, and the rest in towards the bow, or maybe give the top wheel just a little bit of lean to the left. But the bow's pretty well set up, ready to go, and we're just going to go get Hughes sighted in.
Well, as you can see, I think we got the new Matthews Creed XS set up and tuned. Honestly, I'm not that good at a shot. This is as good as I'm ever going to shoot. So, I mean, we're right there at 20 yards. Both of them touching the X. I mean, it's just a sweet bow. The feel is just unbelievable. It's the lightest bow I've ever shot.
For a 28-inch axle-to-axle bow, incredibly forgiving. To have accuracy like that after only shooting the bow for 10 minutes.
Yeah, these are like the 5th and 6th arrows I've shot off of. It's just, unbelievable. I mean, the feel of this bow was just so phenomenal. It's so light. And again, at 28 inches, the maneuverability is going to allow you in a tree stand to be this accurate. I appreciate you helping me picking out the best rest, the best sight, the whole 9 yards. I'm ready to hit the woods, and you're going to have to thank your wife for the really nice wrist bracelet here, custom made. Again, make sure of it. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hopefully I'll have a good picture to show you.
I hope so.
All right.
Enjoy.
The new Creed XS for Matthews.
Everybody remember, go like us on Facebook, DeerFest TV, or go to deerfest.com and sign up for our email newsletter for your chance to win this beautiful 10-point crossbow.